Hi, Jackie. I thought I would make a quick video here for you just to go over this a little bit, just to make sure that you're understanding everything. So the first couple you actually have correct here. Funny, this first one, when I first looked at it, it's correct. And now that I look at your formula, it says sales greater than 500,000. I don't have the book in front of me here, but I think unless you type this in wrong, this is incorrect. So the funny thing is there must be an equal number, whether it's greater than or less than, but technically this should be greater than, since that's what we're looking at here. And yeah, comes up with the same answer. So must have equal numbers there. Funny. So just switch that around there. Michigan's sales greater than 500,000 as well. Just a quick note as I'm talking through here, this is kind of hard to read because there's no commas in there. So I would put your commas in your 500,000 and just kind of clean this up with capitalization here. Sales should be capitalized, average sales should be capitalized, if should be capitalized, things like that. So just kind of go in here and clean that up. Okay, so let's look at the second one here. This is good as well. Michigan sales that are greater than 500,000. I'll just go in here. You already have it correct in that you have the sum ifs we're summing it if it's meets the Michigan and the greater than 500,000 in sales. So good. There's 3 of those. Average sales, good here as well. This is just an average if. There's only one criteria. We're averaging the sales. Oops, let me cancel here quick. We're averaging the sales if the criteria is Detroit. So good there as well. This one here, if you compare these two, you can see here, this one says average sales of Detroit, Michigan. This one is average sales Michigan before 2004. So that's 2 criteria. So this should be a sum or average ifs with an S. So to fix that, instead of redoing everything, I'm just going to come up in here and put an S for average ifs. And then it's not going to like that because it doesn't know what to do, but I can go back into that cell and then click on the FX button here. So my average range is going to be sales because we want our sales to be the average. So I'm going to redo that, scroll through. I'm going to average the sales if it meets the criteria of Michigan. Michigan appears in C3 through C28. And I'm actually going to type in Michigan here. I'll tell you why. So this kind of contradicts what the book was showing us in the chapter, in that maybe sometimes it's easier to click on a cell instead of typing it out because we run the risk of typing it incorrectly. In this case, though, because of where the criteria resides here, my only concern would be, what if we would add a new row in here and somehow C3, which is what you had before, becomes Ohio or something? Then it would completely change our answer here. So that's why I'm typing Michigan in instead. Okay, criteria. The other criteria range is before 2004. So this range is going to be your estimate. And we'd have to do less than, before 2004 would be less than 2004. And that would give us this answer here of 481,192. Okay, so that's how you're going to fix that one. This last one here is almost correct. Sum if is correct. However, your sum range just says E2, and E2 is sales. Now, if you had a sales range, name range, that would work, but you don't. So this should actually, the sum range should be our sales cells here. So E3 through E28 should be the range there. The fact that it came up with an answer is kind of weird, but it did. So, and it wasn't actually too far off. So that's one thing you have to fix there. Is just the criteria, the sum range was incorrect. So that would give us the 9 million. It's very similar to what you had, but it was off by just a few numbers there. And you got the sum ifs to work. Good job. That was the one you were struggling with. But again, your sum range here, sum if the total sales for Michigan is before 2012. So you have your sum range of sales, good. Your criteria range of state. C9 you have, again, I won't take off for that, but just note my earlier mention. And then the year is before 2012. So Good job on that one. Some ifs meets multiple criteria. So just a couple things again on these. It's helpful if you talk yourself through it. You know, we're looking at this, the number of sales greater than 500,000. So that's one criteria. Same thing here, Michigan sales greater than 500,000. That's two criteria, Michigan and 500,000. So you had to use the ifs and kind of going along the same route then here. Average is only one criteria. Average ifs, two criterias. Sum if, only one criteria. Sum ifs, in this case, has multiple criteria. So as you're looking at the statements or what it's saying, it's just helpful to kind of talk yourself through that to see what is the criteria. Is there multiple criteria or just one thing? But other than that, really good job. Don't forget to come in here and add your commas and just clean that up. Again, I'm sure you were planning to do that, but oops, wrong way. But in case you weren't, make sure you just clean up all the little stuff to make it look nice. Okay, I hope this helps you, Jackie. Let me know if you have any other questions. Of course, as you can imagine, I'll post a video tomorrow on the second half of the formulas, which I don't know if they'll be any easier for you or not. We'll try and talk you through it, and hopefully this will help you. Let me know if you have any more questions. Take care.